Hello Reddit. Today I'm going to explain this RAM module, going to explain some things about that piece of crap, and then I will show you that new piece of crap that's even worse than that thing. Really, I hate that thing. It's the worst. Don't ever look at it. Do not look at it. Alright. So this is, let's see. This RAM module is 4 blocks wide, long, 2 blocks wide, and 16 blocks high. This is the data in line, this is the latching line, this is read line 1, this is read line 2, let's enable these, and this is data out 2, this is data out 1, that's it. Okay, so let's look at the latch. The latch is very simple, it uses block updates if you enable that one. This piston is block powered, if you then update it, it will extend. If you disable the latch line, this is not blood powered anymore. If you update it, it will retract. That's how simple it is. The signal will travel down here along this storage tower to this piston and to this piston right here. If you have a 1 clocked, this piston is not powered, so if you disable the read line, it is allowed to move. As you can see, if the signal stored is a 1, you disable the read line, the piston will retract, which allows the signal to travel down onto the data line. The same goes for this bottom piston, as you can see. Very simple. Okay, so this is the RAM. It's the RAM I showed you on Reddit. It's slightly different. It's got a few fixes. I found out later that it had a few problems that had to do with world edit, which included glitched out pistons, some pistons that were missing because I just didn't copy them, and some other things like interference between different cells. Some blocks I forgot to place, that kind of stuff. Some missing repeaters. Yeah, pretty basic stuff. I'll show you how it works. This is a 2-bit decoder which decodes the columns. This column, this column, this column, or this column. This is the write line. These are the addressing lines for the rows. I don't have decoders attached to them yet, though I'm working on it back there, the blue stuff. Down here you have the readouts, the column select which don't have decoders yet, and here the column select for which without decoders as well. So let's try to write something. I've got 42 set here, so let's write that. Let's write that to this, the first cell, cell null, which will be read-only sometime in the near future. Cell 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, I think. Were that 8 zeros? I don't know. There we go. We've written it. As you can see, this is the data. So, oh, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0 stored. So let's disable the write lines, disable this write line, and then we should be able to read it out right here, which apparently doesn't work because I forgot to select it right here. There we go. 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0. Or if we want to, we can also use the secondary read right here. 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0. Um, yeah, so let's answer some questions. Alright, questions. So how can you create computers in RAM? Okay, there are a lot of people on Reddit who don't know everything about computers, obviously. Some asked, well, how can you create computers? Well, computers exist out of tiny components, mostly transistors. And transistors, you can make transistors using either pistons or redstone torches or redstone repeaters. And if you put them together correctly, you can create a computer. Another question, what is RAM? Basically, you have a few tiers of storage in your computer. You have cache, um, different tiers of cache, usually L1, L2, and L3. Then you have RAM, and then you have your non-volatile permanent storage, like a hard drive or an SSD. Sometimes you also have L4 cache. In my computer, I do have L4 cache. Cache is basically the same as RAM. We can ignore it. It's not that important. The computer can go without cache, though it will be a great deal slower in most cases. So RAM basically stores all the information your processor needs at this point in time. For example, programs you're currently running, or yeah, data you're currently accessing, that kind of stuff. Then there was a question about the computer I'm going to build using this RAM. Well, not this RAM, but the RAM I'm building over there. Can you play games on it? I don't think so, since the clock cycle of that is still going to be less than 1 Hertz. I don't think it will be any good playing games. So no, unfortunately not. And I don't think a lot of general purpose computers in Minecraft will be able to do it. There are obviously specialized contraptions that can run games, but they can only run one game, and it's specifically built for that one game. Are you using mods for this? No, I am running a bucket server just for world edit, because honestly I'm not going to build all of this by hand. And I've been experiencing I've built about 1/8 of this thing by hand, and it's a pain. It's a really big pain. Let's make it 1/4. I've built 1/4 of this by hand, and yeah. If you can at all avoid it, do it. Do it, really. It's a pain. Yes, how does one single cell work? Did I explain that? Yes, I did, with that thing right there. Why do you need so much RAM? Because why not? Seriously, my computer can't handle it, so what? Why not? Really, it's just complete fun. Just like why about the next question, I could have also built it with command blocks, which would have been much smaller and much faster, but that's not fun either. Why the hell not? Yes. Bits or bytes? This was a question about the word size. No. It's about in the title I said 256B, and he asked bits or bytes. Bytes. I/O. What's okay about the processor? Is it going to have any I/O to hook up any user interaction stuff? Yes, I've got a quite sophisticated system in mind for that. What are the read-write times of this RAM? This specific RAM, 42 ticks. That RAM's going to have 5 ticks. Instant read and instant write, but 5 ticks propagation delay after writes before you can read the bottom line. So that's going to be a significant improvement. Yes. Is it solid state? No. What is the word size of your processor? See, It's going to be 1 byte or 8 bits. What components have you built already? Basically RAM, and I also have a program counter, a writable program counter. So you can do jumps and stuff. It's not entirely built, but it's designed, and I only have to expand it to 16 bits. 16 bits, yes, 16 bits. That's gonna mean it can run 65,536 instructions at max, which is not a little bit, it's a lot actually. And I'm going to have to build storage for all of that. Probably the most significant part of it is going to be ROM, and maybe a bit of it is going to be RAM, but we'll see, we'll see. What functions do your computers have? Well, it's a general purpose computer, so you can basically do anything with it, but since it's so slow, you basically can't do anything with it. What is the base of your RAM? It's binary. You could also use hexadecimal, but for analog redstone, but that's a pain, and it's going to be even bigger. No. What are the buzzing delays? The buzzing delays of this thing are 36 ticks, so that's far too much. And that's why I am building that version over there with instant wires and instant decoders. Haven't seen it yet in the Minecraft community, instant decoders and stuff. Yes. There was also a question about the instruction set I've designed for my processor. It's not yet done, I'm almost done. There are a few things I found out that were incorrect and weren't gonna work, and I still need to fix them, but yeah, just about done. It's going to not be like any current real world processor, the instruction set. And I don't think it will be any, you could compare it to any redstone instruction set we're currently using. Since I'm using a few optimizations to make the computer much faster with redstone, also easier to build. What's the recommended hardware to run this thing? I don't know. My computer can run this thing quite easily, with some lag spikes sometimes when writing and reading, but when I'm not recording, that's not really a big issue. My computer though cannot run this thing. This is the new version I'm working on. It's not done yet. As you can see, this decoder, I have to build this decoder properly still. But you have to realize that this thing uses instant redstone, so as soon as you write something, a few hundred pistons are going to fire within one game tick, and if you read it, maybe close to 1,000 will fire within one game tick if you're unlucky. So yes, my computer I don't think can run this thing. My computer is contains an i7-4770K, which is in this kind of contraptions is the most important part, your processor. It's overclocked at 4.3 gigahertz, and I do notice a lot of lag spikes and also tick drops. My graphics card is a GTX 970 G1 Gaming, overclocked as well. I would say if you really want to run this thing without lag, you really should go on multi-CPU server hardware. This thing is really laggy. But well, I think we're going to just have to live with the lag once this thing is done. Yes. So I hope you learned something. I hope you liked it. I'm definitely going to continue this project. If you are interested in helping potentially, please tell me, message me directly via YouTube or give me a message through Reddit or just post in the comments. That's alright as well. I will see that. Yeah, let me continue with this project and I will see if you liked it. If you have any recommendations, be sure to tell me. And goodbye. I'll try to make some more update videos. I know this one has been a little bit late. It took me 3 days to make this video, since this is one of the first videos I make that are, I hope, is going to be decent quality. If you have any recommendations in way of video recording, you can tell me as well. Yeah, I hope you liked it, and I hope with the next video I will have made some progress. I can tell you, this instant decoder, if you're ever going to need to build one, don't do it. Don't. Just don't. This is a 6-bit decoder, which means I have to build 64 modules. It's split up into sets of 3 modules, which is really the worst. I mean, it's not the power of 2, so it's very, very difficult to use World Edit to easily stack this. And of course, with World Edit, all the pistons are being glitchy. Let's see if I can find a few pistons for you. In fact, there are a few pistons that disappeared in this storage. Yes, right here in this module. There are pistons here. Let's see. There should be pistons right here. Here should be a piston. Here should be a piston, and they all disappeared because of world editing. Yeah. World Edit really doesn't handle pistons very, very well, unfortunately. Especially when they're extended. When they're retracted, it works fine. But if they're extended, it really just doesn't work. Well, I'm kind of rambling right now, so I'll stop. I hope you liked it. Goodbye.